Today we're going to do a half-hour video. Sometimes we don't always have a full hour, but we're definitely going to get our heart rate up and then do a little hip opening at the end. Working with our breath is a great way to incorporate the yoga lifestyle in a short amount of time. So really focusing on our breath is going to be our main thing today while we work through. So let's come down to a comfortable seat still to begin. And sitting down, growing the spine tall. And begin to come into that breath here. Using your inhales to lengthen the spine. Find that slight pause. And then your exhales to really settle down through the sits bone. Creating a slow, steady breath of a count to 3 or 4. Pause. Releasing it out. Take this time to set an intention, using I am as you inhale, and exhale a quality you've been working on. Patience, grateful, loved, enough, balanced. Repeat that to yourself with your breath, inhaling I am, pause, exhaling the quality. 3 more times. Deep breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. And gently fluttering your eyes open and making your way to tabletop position. So our hands are directly under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Drop your belly, arch your back, breathe in for cow. And exhale, rounding, tucking the tailbone for cow. Inhaling, cow, really lifting the gaze, and exhaling and rounding. Staying with that steady breath, you can read it. Waking up the spine here. And 2 more rounds. Inhaling for cow, exhaling for cow. 1 more. And finding a flat back, pulling the crown of the head forward, the tailbone back, engaging the belly. Send the right leg back, toes pointed down, really pushing through the heel, reaching long through that leg. Then begin to float the left fingertips forward. Thumb is facing up towards the sky, and we're working on reaching long, creating that length in opposition. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, round elbow to knee. Reaching long, elbow to knee. Reach long, elbow to knee. Big breath long, and back to tabletop. Drop your belly, lift the gaze, and exhale and round for cat. Coming back to that flat back, crown of the head is pulling forward, tailbone is lengthening back. The left leg floats up off the ground. Heel is pressing towards the wall behind you, and the right fingertips reach forward. Creating that length here. Taking a breath in, reaching, Exhale, knee to elbow. Lengthening long, elbow to knee. Reaching long, elbow to knee. Stretching long, and back to tabletop. Dropping your belly, lifting your gaze, and exhaling and rounding. And finding that flat back, curling the toes under, engaging that core, hover the knees up off the ground. Now imagine that your forearms and your knees are gonna come together. Feel your core light up. Take a deep breath in, open your mouth, let it go. Inhale, and downward facing dog. Taking a couple moments here to really come into your dog, pushing through your hands, sending those hips high. Bending into your legs, waking up the hamstrings here. One more breath in. Exhaling it out, looking towards your hands, stepping to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, fold forward, sweeping up to stand, reaching up high, and hands come to our heart center. Sweep up, and fold forward, halfway lift, and plant the hands, step back, high plank. Breath in, rock forward, lowering down, chaturanga. Upward facing, and downward facing dog. Deep breath in, release it out. Breathe in, look towards your hands, and step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, fold forward, sweeping up to stand, reaching up high, and folding right back down. Halfway lift, high to low plank, lowering on the exhale, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Inhaling, letting it all go. Deep breath in, look towards the hands, bend the knees, jump. Halfway lift, fold forward, sweep up to stand, reaching up high, hands come to our heart center. Inhaling up and sink into chair. Breath in, up through the heart, and fold forward. Halfway lift, high to low plank, upward facing, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward. Sweep up on the inhale and flow. Stepping back, lowering down, upward facing, and downward facing dog. Left foot forward, sweeping up and framing that foot, flowing down, upward facing on the inhale, and downward facing dog. Come back to that breath, deep breath in, exhale it out. Inhaling, releasing, one more. Emptying it out, looking towards your hands, jump. Halfway lift, fold forward, sweeping up to stand, sinking into chair. Inhale up through the fingers, folding forward. Halfway lift, chaturanga, high to low, upward facing, downward facing dog. Send the right leg up high. It's bend the knee, open up the hip, really flexing through that right foot. Knee is opening up. Inhale that leg long. Step it forward for a low runner's lunge. Left hand stays planted, reaching the right arm up towards the sky. Deep breath in, sweep up. We're going to frame that front foot. Finding our stance, inhaling up to a crescent lunge. Finding that breath. Inhaling up through the fingers and settling into that front leg. Inhaling up, settling down. One more inhale, open up to warrior two. Sinking in, making sure that front knee is now tracking over towards like the second and third toe. Relax the shoulders, reaching the arms forward and back. Let's flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior and frame that front foot. Step back, high plank, lower down, upward facing, and downward facing dog. Inhaling the left foot high to the sky, opening up that hip. Flexing into the foot, knee is lifting towards the sky. Sending that leg long and planting that left foot down between the hands. Finding the base here, knee on top of the ankle, planting the right hand down, lifting the left arm. One more breath in, reach up. And frame that front foot. Finding our stance, sweeping up to crescent lunge. Finding the strength in our legs. Inhaling up through our heart, settling into the front knee. Sweeping up, settling down. One more inhale, and open up to warrior two. Relaxing the shoulders down, making sure the knee draws over the second and third toe. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. And coming down, cartwheeling down, high to low plank, upward facing, back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in, exhaling it out. Breath in, release. One more, deep breath in. Do exhale, bend the knees, look towards your hands, jump. Halfway lift, fold forward, sweeping up to stand, reaching up high, chair pose. So, settling in here, making sure our knees are going back behind the toes, hips are down, but trying to lift the heart up. Tuck the pelvis under, breathing in up through the chest, sinking a little as you exhale. Deep breath in, lower down. One more, inhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Sending that left leg up to the sky, then hinging forward for standing splits. So flexing that foot, doesn't matter about the height, we're really just lifting up, feeling this in the right hamstring, as well as just folding down forward. Deep breath in, exhale it out. More breath in, lift the leg, and now lower it back down for that runner's lunge. And flattening that foot out, cartwheeling up for warrior two. And settling in, checking that knee, hips are drawn down, shoulders are relaxed. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. Now cartwheel the arms to the inside. Wiggle that foot back out up towards the edge, finding lizard pose. So keep the back leg lifted for a moment. Maybe just find some slight rocking forward and back. Just kind of loving in on the hip a little bit, finding a little movement. And now go ahead and drop that back knee and kind of come into this pose. There's so many different variations. Just let your breath take you there. I like to usually bring my toes to the outside, kind of let the hip open up and lower down to the forearms. Taking a couple breaths this way. Again, just let your body take you. Coming back to that intention, that I am statement, staying with our breath. If you came down to the forearms, come back up. So bend into that back leg. And this might be enough. You might already feel this on the quad. If you want to find a twist, you bring the right hand behind for the foot. Keep sinking the hips down. Breathing in. Sending it to the tight spots. Telling them that you're okay. And carefully releasing that back foot and coming back up on the back leg, squaring off your hip. Now find a connection between that knee and elbow. Belly's engaged just like we were in plank pose. See if you can connect the knee and elbow so that you can lift up that foot. Deep breath in, exhale it out. Send it back, high plank, and downward facing dog. Deep breath in, exhale it out, squatting back, look towards your hands, jump, halfway lift, fold forward, chair pose, sinking down, lifting the heart. And again, checking in. Making sure you can still see your toes. Tuck the pelvis under. Lift the chest up. Deep breath in. Sink a little lower. Deep breath in. And fold forward. Halfway lift. And fold and send the right leg high to the sky. Standing splits. Action in that right foot, flexing it, relaxing the head and shoulders. More deep breath in. And lowering back to that runner's lunge. Planting that foot down, opening up to warrior two. And flip your front palm, reverse the warrior, and cartwheeling down inside for lizard pose. So staying up on that back leg again, and just kind of finding a little movement here. And then go ahead and release that leg. Let the back knee come down. And each side's gonna be different. So again, breathing in. Letting gravity kind of do what it does. Sending your breath to the tight areas. Coming back to that intention, staying with our breath. If you came down to your forearms, you want to come back up for that twist, bending into that back leg. And then maybe reaching the left hand around, finding that foot. And again, sinking back into the hips, opening up. Maybe looking over your top shoulder. Breathing here. Slower that back foot down, placing that left hand back and coming back up. So now finding that connection, that knee to shoulder, I guess, more. Really engaging there, engaging the belly, finding a good stance, and now start to hover that foot up, connecting it with the arm, breathing in, deep breath in, exhale it out. We're going to bring that foot right back down and now keep looking forward, keep the belly in, and step the right foot up between the hands for yogi squat. So sinking down, really opening up through the knees, but really working on opening up through the shoulders, letting the heart come forward. Trying to sit up as tall as we can. Two more breaths here. And placing the hands down, lifting the hips up high. And just kind of bending in from side to side. And bringing the feet back to center. And finding a halfway lift. Fold forward. Chair pose. Sink the hips, lift the arms. Now hinging forward for like a skier squat. Keep reaching forward. Start to lower the hips down. Lowering, lowering for boat pose, Navasana. Reaching the legs up, feet up, heart up. Chest is flat, shoulders draw back. And breathing. And one more breath and lift up and start to lower down slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop at the hover. And crisscross. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw the knees in and rock out on the low back. And placing the feet down right behind the hips, getting set up for bridge pose. So the arms come down by the sides. Next breath in, ground down through the feet, lift the hips up, push down through the shoulders, lift the chest and heart up. One more breath in, lift, and slowly lowering down. Bringing the feet wide, just letting the knees come together. Take 2 breaths here. And we're going to do one more. Do one more bridge pose, or if you have wheel in your practice, We're going to place our hands right by our ears. Next breath in, we're going to send the hips up. And breathing, 5 breaths. One more breath in. And as you exhale, slowly lowering down. And sending the wrists up, sending the legs up for dead bug, just rolling the wrists and ankles. And draw the knees in towards the chest. And if you have a block and you want to place it underneath your low back for waterfall, or you can just send the legs up, bring the arms out. I'm going to breathe here, 8 breaths, legs up. And draw the knees in towards the chest. And send the legs down long. Bring the arms down by your side. If you have a block, you can just leave it there and maybe bring your arms up overhead. If you have no block, we're going to come into fish pose. Legs long. Push into your forearms so you come up on your elbows and drop the head back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. One more. Inhale up through the chest. Exhale it out. And tuck the chin, release down. Draw the right knee in, the left leg's long. And cross the knee over the body to the left, sending the right arm out. Maybe your gaze comes out to the right. And come back to center, drawing the right knee in towards your chest. And lift up the left foot up to a hover. Draw your nose in towards that knee and switch. And lower the foot and the head, compressing the left knee now in towards the chest. And crossing it over the body. And reaching the left arm out, bringing your gaze over that hand. And coming back to center, drawing the left knee in, and drawing both knees in, giving yourself a big squeeze. And relaxing down for Shavasana, taking up some space, closing your eyes, releasing everything into the mat. Back to that natural breath. And nothing left to do other than just be. And begin to deepen your breath again. And start to make some movements back into your fingers and your toes. And stretch your arms up above your head, full body stretch. And draw the knees in and make your way to your favorite side. And honor yourself here. Show gratitude for showing up. Everything your body was able to do. And using your hands to push yourself up to a comfortable seat with your eyes closed and your hands in front of your heart center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Let it all go. Let's inhale and release. Our thumbs raised to our forehead center. The light in me honors and respects that same light that shines bright in each and every one of you. Out of respect for one another in this ancient practice, together we bow and say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you all soon.